I'm starting to think I am better at being in the closet.
Yes, no matter how much we try to pretend to be something that we are not, does not mean we are that thing.
Hey, it's Anthony from GLAAD. Benito, the show is finally here. We are so excited. We're going to laugh, obviously. But what I love so much about it is it's got a lot of heart, a lot of important messages, especially for queer people. What's your hope that, besides laughing, obviously, that the queer fans take away from the show? Because I lived for it.
I hope that queer people, I hope they see the little things in it. That I think those little things can make you feel like, oh my God, that was my experience. And like someone else is feeling this way. Or, you know, I approached this and I didn't even know, but once I had finished shooting it, I realized how hard on myself I was for not coming out sooner and not being immediately a part of this beautiful community that now I'm a part of. And I think that we all have our reasons, and especially now, my God, that you don't feel like you can be yourself and that you don't feel like you can come out yet. And so I think I forgave myself in a lot of ways for not living truthfully for so much of my life, because I think there were so many reasons why I chose to do that. So I hope you can, you know, I hope queer audiences can forgive themselves a little bit and then just see these little things that I feel really lucky that Amazon and A24 and Strong Baby let me include, like a George of the Jungle sequence, or the panic of a handshake, or, you know, falling in love with someone and, you know, and that being kind of what almost forces you out finally, and meeting a woman who finally you can't do the performance in front of. You're like, okay, I'm going to do the real voice. Like she got me. I think that's what I want people to see. It's those little things that I think hopefully make them feel seen and a little less alone in their head, like I was.
Thank you for sharing that. Wally, I mean, Carmen is, you know, he just said it, such an important character to be in this story with fictional Benny. But what was it like for you to kind of get to take this on, knowing, like you just said, it's such an important part of the story and also a lot of fun to do as well?
I mean, it was just unbelievable and an immense honor, I think, through and through. I was in the writer's room for the show, and so I really feel like I understood the importance of that relationship, both for Benny and the show, because it felt so just like an integral focal point for the everything in the show, and Benny coming on his sexuality journey. And also that character herself is really important to me, because ultimately I was able to pour a lot of myself into her, particularly her journey in how she's overcompensating by really just, she really perceives her value as just romantic and just sexual. And she trivializes herself down to just that. I think I went through so much of my high school and early 20s experience. I was no harlot, but
That's a good word.
Glad needed to know.
Yeah. But I think that I didn't understand my value either. And so it felt like really important personal closure for me too.
Haley's kind of like the ultimate party girl, but she's also kind of a party girl with a heart, I think, too. You know, that's what I love about this show. It's so funny, but it has a lot of heart, and I think that people will get a lot out of it in terms of acceptance and being there for others. What's the hope that you have for people that watch the show, obviously, besides laughing a ton?
Yes, I hope that they laugh a ton. And then I also really hope that they feel safer to be themselves in the world, and know that even though it is brave to come out often, I understand that in New York and LA or big cities, it might not always feel that way, but I grew up mostly in Nebraska and it absolutely was like that. And I watched a lot of friends struggle immensely. And so I hope that people can feel safer to be themselves and know that even if everyone doesn't accept them, is a large community that will. And that hiding yourself ultimately, it's not going to be the best life you can have.
The trailer came out a little bit ago, millions of views already. So obviously the anticipation for this show is so high, which is such an opportunity, I think, for LGBTQ people out there, or just people in general that maybe need a little love or, you know, help with self-acceptance. What is the hope that you have for anyone that maybe turns on and sees George or any of the other characters?
Well, I didn't have a George growing up. So it was really fun to kind of play the mentor and the person who was so confident with themselves and at home and at ease with themselves, and watching Benny struggle, because I didn't really have that. I was Benny. So I hope that people find a friend like George in real life. And I hope that if they don't, that they can turn the TV on and see somebody who's out and proud and himself happy.
And that the more you are yourself, the more other people will feel that they can be too. I think right now a lot of people are feeling they need to hide before it's 100% we have to. And I just
Mhm.
think, yeah, the more that we can continue to be ourselves, continue to be proud of who we are. Because I mean, sorry, gay people are the funniest people I know. Always have been. Sorry.
Well, it's also, there's something about George's character that makes everyone else feel at ease, even
Yeah.
if he's not saying that much, but it's just the fact that he's so at ease.
Mhm.
So I think the more you find yourself and dig deep, ultimately the more at ease you put other people also.
Yeah.
Right. I mean, Shane from the L Word, she meant everything to me till the day I die. And I remember watching it in my room alone and being like, what? This person exists? I've never seen them in my neighborhood.
What I love about the show, obviously, it's a riot, it's hilarious. But I think that there is a lot of heart to it as well. It comes with self-acceptance, if you're gay, and all of that. Mary Beth, what would you want to say that for anyone maybe that you would hope that they take away from this, obviously, besides laughing a lot?
I think the show is so beautiful in that it makes a really specific experience feel very universal. So this isn't just a show for people who felt like they couldn't come out. This isn't just a show for college kids. It's not just a show for frat guys. Like, it is truly a universal story of love and acceptance, and feeling like love is conditional, and that if you show who you really are, you might not be deserving of love, or you might not feel that way.
So what was it like, though, at this point in your life to kind of reverse and go back to obviously a fictionalized version of college? But I mean, what was it like to kind of just do that all over again in a slightly different way?
Yeah, no, totally in front of cameras.
Yeah.
Yeah, it felt like, at first I thought, I went back and forth. I was like, oh, it's gonna be easy. And then once I got there, I was like, it's harder. And then I think around, the second or third week, Wally and I had shot this scene in the Domino's parking lot in the second episode. And I think that's the one where I was like, oh, I think this could like really heal something in me. And I can finally laugh at all of this, because I think it would always be so confusing to me that people would laugh the hardest when I would do like how I used to speak straight in front of them. Like they would just like, even Mary Beth Barone at first was like, I can't look at you while you talk like, and then I think I finally started to do it too. And I like, yeah, like I was saying, I forgave myself, and it kind of started to feel like I had power over it, where it could be like, I'm choosing to do this. And yeah, I found the humor in it, I think, the sadness that it was at the time. And I don't think I could have done it any earlier in my life to go back and do that, because I think now I had space and a true love of being gay. I think that I feel like I carry with me.
Congratulations, Benny. I am so supportive and I am so proud.
Thank you so much, Megan Fox.
I love